Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the Monster Hunter Wilds beta test. It's been a long time since I've played any of the Monster Hunter games, but I'm excited to check this one out. The longsword is my favorite weapon in Monster Hunter Worlds, so we're going to check that out first this time. Our first hunt, though, will be against this big frog-looking thing. He doesn't look too tough, so let's go kick his ass. Additionally, if you're liking the content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. First thought though is this weapon feels slightly different than the Monster Hunter World one. Also, it seems kind of hard to lock onto the monster. That's fine though, I'm sure it's mostly due to just the fact that I haven't played a Monster Hunter game for quite a while and forgot most of the controls. It'll probably just take a second to get used to things again. I have absolutely no idea which button they're trying to tell me to press to activate focus mode. That's definitely not the right mouse button, and if anyone can explain this to me, please let me know in the comments. This fight is just starting out rough. I really need to figure out how to lock on and actually face the enemy. I don't know what it is about this game, but it just feels a little bit more clunky than Monster Hunter Worlds. But it is just a beta test though, so they got time to refine things. Just you wait, Frog Bulldog guy. Once I figure out how to face you, you're done for. I do really like this one ability where I sheath the sword. It doesn't seem super great though, at least from when I've used it, but it gets the style points. Just wait until I figure out how to properly face this Bulldog Frog thing, and then his ass is grass. I don't think I have any food or any way to heal right now, so I really should probably play more safe than I am currently. Oh, here we go. I'm finally starting to get the hang of this longsword. That was a pretty cool combo. If only that pop-up didn't come up right in the middle of it and I actually had hit the guy. Oh well, it was a pretty good start. Now I just need to figure out how to refine that attack and use it on command. I'm mostly trying to use the Spirit Blade and that sheath ability right now. My biggest challenge is still just actually hitting the target. I do have to say though that this first boss is definitely more interesting than the Great Dragarys than it was in Monster Hunter World. When fighting the Great Dragarys, I feel like I was able to just shred him without taking any damage at all. And the whole fight was only like maybe 2 minutes. This guy's actually putting up a little bit of a fight, which is good. I wonder how the limb severing mechanics work in this. If I'll be able to like chop off his tongue or something. It doesn't seem like my attacks have really slowed him down at all or really done much damage. This guy might be tankier than we thought. I gotta give Loki some credit though, he's putting in a really good effort fighting this guy. And he's the cutest assistant around.
Over here. I'm the one you want.
Oh man, he's even taunting the monster. That's wonderful. Maybe it'll give me an opportunity to just sneak up and get a good combo in. The Great Sword might have been a better option for this fight though, so then I could have just gotten a couple really big hits and then backed off. I'm not sure why the numbers occasionally are looking different when I attack. Maybe I'm somehow inadvertently activating the focus mode. I'm not really sure. It looks like Loki has some sort of bomb attack though. That's pretty cool, and I didn't know he was capable of doing that. These combos are really hard to actually pull off though. When my characters just bring his sword straight up like that, I'm actually trying to sheath my sword. But for whatever reason, the combos are like the exact same keystroke, so I don't know how to do one versus the other. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oof, I just took a big hit right there. Let's not let that happen again. Man, this Joker is actually starting to run now. Even though I've barely been able to actually hit him, it seems like I've actually done enough damage to cause him to flee. That's surprising. I finally caught back up to this guy. These mounts seem like a cool idea in theory, and I like the open world concept of this game. However, in practice, gosh, they are clunky. It seems like this monster's finally starting to show signs of weakening. I've always been a fan of Monster Hunter games, but for whatever reason this game just feels really rough. I don't know if it's the fact that just because it's in a beta test it still has a lot of work to be done, but I would expect a little bit more polish at this point. I feel like the lock-on system is probably my biggest complaint though so far. It works sometimes, but it's just really not a great system in my opinion. Maybe I'm missing something incredibly obvious, but in the other Monster Hunter games I didn't have this much issue. Why did the quest just now start? That doesn't make any sense at all. Have I not been fighting the monster for the last 5 minutes? This game is a bit buggy to say the least. Whatever though, at this point I really don't actually care about the storyline. It's just a beta quest, I'm not getting invested at this point. I play these games with my monsters not to get invested in the storyline. But either way, I would expect this game to be a little bit more functional. At least for the most part, the combat seems relatively good. I'm chopping up most of my issues just as being a skill issue right now, rather than it being more of a game issue. Loki made for a great distraction just then while I was sharpening my blade. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that he was able to hold the aggro of the monster that well. I'm starting to get a little bit better with my sword combos. The main issue currently though is just actually being able to face the target and hit him all the time. I'm slowly getting better at it though, but it's still just very clunky in my opinion. I'd love to be able to figure out that jump attack again though. I was able to do it pretty consistently in Monster Hunter Worlds, but in this game I just don't know how to do it. Maybe I'm crazy and I just need to replay Monster Hunter Worlds, but everything just feels off in this game. This Joker's gotta quit running though and just face his defeat like a man. And I'd rather not send out some SOS players and get a whole bunch of other people into this. Hopefully the game doesn't force me to do that, especially after getting this guy on the run like this. It's not going to be long before he's dead. Now we've got these other bugs to deal with, and they're another new addition to this game that wasn't in Monster Hunter World. Hopefully they're not super tough, but this fight's going to get a lot harder. The interesting thing with Monster Hunter Wilds is though that they have the open world concept, meaning you can actually run entire packs of full-size monsters, not just those little guys. Ideally though, if that were to happen, you'd shoot some sort of like flash bug to disperse the group. That way you can focus on your primary monster. However, in this case I don't have any, so I'm going to have to deal with it. We're finally starting to break parts off of this monster though, so he shouldn't have much life left in him. Also, it's really nice to see that Loki's actually providing heals. I wasn't sure he was going to do that yet, but I'm glad. I've got this strategy now, which seems to be working pretty well. It's honestly what I should have been doing from the beginning. But I'm hitting him like once or twice, and then trying to circle around him to get to his back. And then keep hitting him once or twice again and repeat. By doing so, I'm actually intentionally facing my body towards the monster before each swing. That way it prevents me from missing my attacks as often. And maybe now if I'm actually able to land hits on this guy consistently, I'll be able to actually pull off some of the cooler combos. However, even if I better position myself, that still doesn't help the skill issue of me actually not being able to hit the combos. Every time I'm pulling my sword straight up, I should be sheathing it. I'm not entirely sure what's happening when I lift my sword up, but I mean at the very least, hopefully it's increasing my damage or something. Previously though, I was only doing about 10 damage per hit, and now I'm doing closer to 20. I don't know if that has to do with his armor just weakening over time, or maybe it's the fact that I'm lifting my sword up increasing my damage. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever's going on seems to be working. Before this fight's over though, I intend to pull off one more of those jump attacks. I'm not entirely sure how to pull it off or what the combo is, but I'm going to make it happen one way or another. Managed to get him stunned. Now would be the perfect time to do the jump attack if I can pull it off. Heck yeah, I managed to pull off the attack. However, I'm a little bit disappointed with the amount of damage it did. It was like, what, 4, 5, 6s? I was expecting a little bit more, just how flashy the attack is. Perhaps that had to do with my positioning. Maybe if I center myself a little bit better on the monster before doing the jump, more of those hits will land. But it seems like old boy is running again, so I guess the chase is on. I really do like the idea of having mounts, but man, I wish they worked a little bit better.
What should I go find?
If he's trying to sleep, that's a clear indicator that he's super low health. So maybe I can get off a really good combo now and finish him off here. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted right there. That jump attack did a heck of a lot more than the last time. That one was almost perfectly on his head and hit him with basically every single one of his hits. Old boy is hard struggling right now just to stay alive. He doesn't have long at all. This was a surprisingly good first fight. The biggest issue there was just my own skill issues, not being able to hit him straight away. But other than that, the combat actually does seem pretty fun. It's just a matter of relearning all the combos once again. Now that he's dead though, I might as well butcher him, just try to see whatever parts I can get off of him. And then I'll look around the cave just to see if there's anything else interesting nearby. But other than that though, this is where I'm going to end things off though. It was a really interesting first fight. Overall, I like the monster. He's got some good mechanics and he was relatively challenging. Much better than the first Great Dragarys in Monster Hunter's World. However, my issues with this game though come down to, I guess, the targeting. That just seemed way rougher than in the last game. However, maybe it's up to me having just some skill issues and that'll just get better over time. Anyways though, if you enjoyed the content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.